Hey loves, my name is Iphannie and this is the Iphanniebgentle podcast. Have you ever fucked with someone that was on your no-hit list? Now, I know you're probably wondering, what is a no-hit list? So, the no-hit list is a list of people that no matter what, under no circumstance, should you fuck with them. This includes people like your friends, relatives, dads, moms, brothers, sisters, your friends' exes, your spouse's friends, teachers, and any other person who you have decided that under no circumstance should you ever let them beat, eat, or anything else. Now, of course, just the thought of fucking on somebody that you know you have no business fucking on makes the thrill even wilder, but they're on the no-hit list for a reason. If you don't have a no-hit list, maybe you should go and make one, because a lot of people end up fucking on people they have no business fucking on. And then when they realize that shit done gone too far, everybody done lost their damn mind. And then there's nothing you can do to unfuck them. I have a no-hit list and it has saved me a lot. Saved me a lot. It saved me from all types of drama. So again, I highly recommend that everyone make a no-hit list and watch how your life changes. So recently I received an email from you guys asking for some advice. So I'm going to read it. And if you guys have any advice for this person, be sure to check out my YouTube channel and leave your advice in the comment section or under my post on IG, as well as on Anchor or even Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Wherever you listen to us, you can leave a comment and, just recommend some advice for them. We'd love to hear from you. And if you have your own story or you would like some advice, please feel free to email me at the Iphanniebgentlepodcast@gmail.com and put WWID in the subject line, or you could head over to my website at www.Iphanniebgentlepodcast.com and send in your questions to my advice column. You can make yourself anonymous, or shit, you could just change names in the stories. Who really cares? Okay. So this story that was emailed in was titled, "But He's Not My Blood Brother." So this is about to be some shit. I definitely want to bring more spice to my podcast. And so thank you so much for this story. Shout out to you, girl. Let's get right into it. It says, "Hey, love, I was recently listening to your podcast and stumbled across a wild sex story episode." Okay, we love that episode. "I really enjoyed it, especially your banter in between. And I know your podcast is more about mental health, but I figured I can ask your advice on a situation that's been weighing heavy on my heart for some time now." This looks like it's about to be heavy, guys, so grab your wine and let's get into it. So boom. Now, when they start off with "so boom," you know it's about to be some shit, okay? So boom, my parents were married for over 2 decades and recently got a divorce. Well, it's not really recent. It's been about 3 years now, and both of my parents have moved on. My father has remarried. That's a whole other story. Ciao. And my mom is dating. So she said her father has remarried and her mom. So father and mom, it sounds like y'all got something going on, but let's see. She recently introduced me to her boyfriend. Okay. They have been seeing each other for about a year now. Since I'm an only child, she thought it would be best to take things slow, especially because motherfuckers are crazy. How old are you? Okay, let's see, because this is very interesting already. About 3 weeks ago, my mom introduced me to her new boyfriend, and he is fine. Please don't tell me you didn't fuck the boyfriend, please. This is gonna be a mess. She said he has 2 kids, a boy and a girl. The girl is younger than I am. Did I mention I'm 22? Okay, so you're 22. And the boy is 27. That's a grown man, girl. Not a boy. That's a grown man. Her boyfriend, we will call him Eric. The son, we will call him Chris. And the daughter, we will call her Christina. Very original. Very original. So 2 weeks ago, my mom and I went to Eric's family reunion where I finally met his kids. Christina is young. She's 5. That's a baby. And Chris is fine as fuck. I mean, he is sexy as hell, tall, about 6'2", brown skin, beard, green eyes, muscular, tatted. You know the type. I know that's right, girl. Eric told Chris to introduce me to everyone, so he takes me around, and I meet everybody, girl. I'm talking grandmas, aunties, cousins, homies. They were fine as fuck too, by the way. Anyway, while Chris and I were walking around, we were talking and exchanging social media info. He asked me how old I was, and I told him my age. He then proceeded to invite me out that night with a group of his friends. Okay. I told my mom I would ride with Chris and don't wait up because the hookah lounge where we were going wasn't too far from my place. I had been staying with my mom for a couple days because they were doing maintenance on my building and I could not sleep with all the noise they were making. I work at a club as a bartender, so I sleep during the beginning of the day when they are the loudest. So she says okay, and I go on about my way. While Chris and I are driving, we start talking about dating and our type. I slipped out that he is definitely my type. I tried to catch myself before it came all the way out, but I had been drinking at the family reunion, so I was a little lit already. Anyway, he just chuckled and kept on with the conversation. This conversation was everything. I love a man that can keep a conversation going. No awkward pauses, no dead silence, just fluid and fun. We love a man like that, yes. We pull up to the hookah lounge and a couple of his frat brothers are there. They about to run a train on you, girl. Lord, I was in chocolate man heaven, and you sound like you was down with the train, okay? He introduced me to everybody as his friend, and when asked how we met, he said at a family reunion, but nothing more. I didn't think much of it because what more is there to say? I mean, that is very true. Our parents are fucking, like be fucking for real. We stayed at the hookah lounge for about an hour, and one of the guys said there was a party on campus that we can go to. Chris asked if I wanted to go, and I said sure. I mean, I was off for the night, and there wasn't shit else to do, so I tagged along. We pulled up to the house, and it was packed as fuck. As I followed behind Chris, he grabbed my hand so I wouldn't get lost. Girl, his hand was so fucking soft and warm. I was cold as hell. I wasn't wearing anything too crazy, but it was so windy. My bodysuit, distressed jean jacket, and booties was just not cutting it. We got into the party and everybody was beautiful in there, men and women. When we squeezed past the entrance hall where everybody was gathered for some odd reason, it was probably hot as hell in there, that's why. We walked deeper into the party. Not once did Chris let my hand go. It was as if he were comfortable. He saw a few of his other frat brothers there and introduced me to them the same way. Okay. He got me a drink and asked if I was having a good time. I said I was good. The music selection wasn't the greatest. He said he would be right back, and within a minute, the music changed. It went from Soulja Boy to Chris Brown. He knew exactly what he was doing. I asked myself, he asked me if I wanted to dance, and I said sure. I am a shy dancer, but when the liquor gets into me, it's a wrap. So we start dancing, and it was like the whole world had melted away. He had that grown man swag. Now, I had dated older men older than I was, about 10 years, but damn, that's a big age gap. But for some reason, they didn't have shit on Chris. Chris had that swag that made you want to suck his dick in front of everybody and bring him to his knees. What? Okay. I was not prepared for this story, y'all. He had that vibe that made every woman want to be around him, but he made you feel like you were the only one in the world. We danced what felt like forever in a great way. Slow dance, up-tempo, all of it. We were stuck to each other like glue. Did I mention he felt big as fuck? Okay. I found myself grinding on him and felt him getting harder with every whine of my hips. I knew exactly how to get what I wanted. I wanted him in my mouth. After about 9 songs of dancing, he asked me if I was ready to go. I looked at my watch and it was 2 a.m. Girl, where the fuck did the time go? Granted, we did leave the family reunion around 11:30 p.m., so it had gotten pretty late. You know, family reunions don't end at a reasonable time. So we get into his car, a 2022 Bentley Bentayga. Okay, baby got money. Did I mention he had money? He worked in the tech field and was thriving, girl. When he asked me what I did for work, I wanted to lie so bad because a bartender is nothing to brag about. But I am also in my last year of college. I had taken a hiatus from school one year after my best friend had committed suicide because I could not get it together. But I wanted to make sure I went back to finish my degree because that's what she would have wanted. I'm so sorry to hear about your friend. That is really sad. I told him what I did and that I graduated this fall with my degree in psychology. Okay, psych girl. I have stuff on my hands. Okay, psych girl. We love to see it. And already have things lined up for my master's program with internships and jobs and whatnot. Plus, I had my own business, which I was getting off the ground, which also included psych work. He seemed really interested in what I was doing, which made me wetter than I was before. Child, we're pretty sad. He asked where I wanted to go, and I told him he could take me to my place. Earlier that day, I had gotten a voicemail from my building that construction was done today, and boy was I excited to get into my own damn bed. He said okay and took me home. I told him he could come up if he wanted to, and he said okay. We get into my door, and when I open it, he holds the door open for me. We go inside, and I ask him if he wants something to drink. Before I can get the words out of my mouth, he kisses me. Chris kisses you? This is a lot. It was the deepest, warmest kiss I had ever experienced. It tasted like a warm orgasm. I know that's right. He says, I've been waiting to do this since the moment I saw you. I could feel myself getting even wetter. I let out a moan and dropped my things right at the doorway. He closes the door and walked me back to the bedroom while kissing me and taking off his shirt. He lays me on the bed, and when I look down at his pants, I see just how big he is. He slides my panties off and goes to work. He ate me so fucking good. From the back, from the front, from the side, he made me come back to back. Just as I started to shake, he slid in. I didn't even notice when he put the condom on. He was so big. I let out a gasp and immediately came after. He whispered in my ear, "Fuck, you're so tight and wet," and I was. I could barely take the dick, but I wasn't in the business of running. I know that's right. He stroked long and deep and drove me crazy. He started sucking on my double D's and playing with my nipple rings in his mouth, tugging and biting on my nipples. Just like that, he found my spot. He put my right leg on his shoulder and straddled my left leg onto the bed and stroked even deeper, sucking on my toes. I lost my mind. He sucked on his thumb and slid his finger into my ass. I squirted. I would have never imagined I could do something like that, but he was the one to make it happen. I could see his eyes rolling back as he let out a loud fuck. He pulled out and I knew it was my turn. Before he could nut, I slid the condom off and buried him deep in my throat. Did I mention I had no gag reflex? Girl, this is a lot. His eyes got so big as I sucked every inch of him down and swallowed. He knew he fucked up. He probably thought because I was young, I wouldn't be with the shit. But there was a thing or two I knew I could show him that would blow his mind. After he came, I laid him on the bed because now it was my turn to blow his mind. I got on top and started to ride. He laid back and enjoyed the show. I pulled out all the tricks. I'm flexible as fuck thanks to my parents putting me in ballet and gymnastics as a child. So I could do just about anything. I fucked him crazy, and right before he came, I took him in my mouth again and swallowed all of him. I catered to his balls and sucked on his gooch, and when I realized he didn't flinch, I moved down some more and ate his ass. One of my favorite things to do. He went crazy. I jacked him off as I ate his ass and his eyes rolled back. I knew he wasn't going anywhere after that. When we were done, we took a shower and laid there and watched the sun come up. We didn't say a word. There was no need to. I knew and he knew we would do this again because he'd never have someone do him like I did and vice versa. The only problem is my mom's boyfriend is now her fiance, and that makes Chris my soon-to-be stepbrother. Child, I done forgot all about the motherfucking brother, the daddy. Oh, Lord. What do I do? Because I don't want to give up that dick, and he has made it very clear my pussy is his. I mean, we've fucked every night since that night, and twice the night of my mom's engagement last week. I can't give up that dick. I refuse to. Help, love. Girl. What? Chris got a brother? No, I'm just playing. This is a lot. Okay, so first of all, let's rewind. This is your mom's new boyfriend's son. You just met him 3 weeks ago. And on the night that you met him, y'all got it in. Fucking and sucking and eating and a whole bunch of other stuff. And y'all been sleeping together ever since. But this is still your mom's boyfriend's son. So if obviously things are going further with the mom, because mom is now engaged to said boyfriend. So now that's your stepbrother. Girl, why you do that? No judgment, but like, the stepbrother, I feel like if it was anybody else, you would be great. It would be all Gucci. If it was Chris's homeboy, like, no questions asked. But the fact that it's Chris, and Chris is the mama's boyfriend's son, what's gonna happen when the mama and the now fiance get married? Like, are y'all still gonna be fucking? Like, I understand y'all are grown. Great, y'all are grown. He's 27, you 22. Like, y'all don't really have to report to anybody. But like, isn't that kind of weird? Like, it wasn't weird that y'all fucked, and that is, I mean, the ties. Y'all can't sleep together no more. I know it's really hard, especially when you find somebody that you could just be like all out freak with. You could just do any and everything with. It's really hard to be like, okay, like, I'm just gonna cut it off. Yeah, I really shouldn't have never went there. But by the way you were describing Chris, I would have probably went there too. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I mean, damn, that was a hard one, because now what if the mama and the boyfriend don't work out, but you and Chris do work out? No, I can't even think like that. You cannot fuck on your stepbrother. Like, I am dying laughing because you literally titled this, but he's not my blood brother. And I understand, child, I understand. But at the same time, although he's not your blood brother, like, how old is your mom? If you're 22, your mom's been married for 2 decades. Let's just say your mom got married at 21 and now she's, okay, so let's just say your mom is 45. She not gonna have no more kids. Possibly. She might. What if she have a kid with Eric? And then, nah, you can't fuck your stepbrother. That's crazy. I know, that's really tough. And then, like, how do you bring that up to your mom? Like, Mom, I just want to let you know, like, me and Chris have been fucking. Now, granted, I probably wouldn't tell my mama. Especially if your mom is engaged. That means she loves this man. She wants to be with this man. And she's engaged to him now. So she's looking at Chris like, oh, son. And you looking at Chris like, damn, daddy. Like, that is tough. You, child. Speaking from, like, other people's experiences with something similar to this, it does not end well. It don't end well, because when the mama find out, well, I don't know, because is this a son and daddy thing? Do they do this all the time? Like, they be like, oh, I'm gonna bag the mama, you can bag the daughter, and we can... And Chris, you know you dead wrong. You know you dead. Because when she saw you, she was like, oh, I need that. You should have been like, no, we're potentially going to be family. We can't do that. And I'm pretty sure you knew your daddy was going to propose to your mama. I mean, to her mama. So you really shouldn't have did that. But no judgment again. I just feel like y'all need to cut it off. Maybe get you one last little banging and then call it a day. Only because it might be a while before you get over that dick. But at the same time, like, you need to make sure that you're protecting yourself and Because what if you get pregnant? What if you get pregnant? Like, it's just too many variables. It's too much. You cannot fuck your stepbrother. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I know that's probably not what you want to hear. You're probably like, how do I tell my mom? Like, what do I do? Child, you can't. You cannot smash the stepbrother. I'm sorry. It sucks to hear, but you can't fuck your stepbrother. Even if the dick is that good. I'm sorry. Because it's going to cause a commotion within the family, and that's something you don't want to do, especially if your mom was married for over 2 decades to your dad, and now she finally like moved on and she found somebody else. There's absolutely no way you're gonna do your mama like that, to where she might potentially have to break up with the nigga and go find somebody else. So what you gonna do? Fuck that brother? Like fuck that son too? No, you cannot do that. No, I refuse. Like, you gonna have to just tell him, like, listen, we should have never crossed the line. We should have never done this, and I don't think we should continue to do this, and I think we should wrap it up, and that be that. Like, it was fun while it lasted. Y'all got soul ties. You done ate the man ass on the first date? That's soul ties. That, he got you coming back to back. He put a spell on you, baby. You need to go pray about it. Pray. Just don't fuck him again. Please. I know I said, like, maybe you need to just get it one more time. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just tell him, like, don't even break up with him in person. Because he might, like, put a little spell on you and then you back in the same predicament. Just text him or call him and be like, you know what? I've been doing a lot of thinking. I listened to Iphannie's podcast, and she said that we should not be doing this. So I'm going to focus on school, and I'm going to leave that at that. I can't sleep with you anymore. It's just bad for business. That was a really good story. I hope I get more stories like that, because one, she was really detailed. She like went into depth. Like, we did this, we did that. It was like this, it was like that. It was great. I love it. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for sending in that story. I really do appreciate it. I hope everything works out for you, because that was a tough one. I'm praying for you. We're hoping that everything works out, because I want to make sure that your mental health is fully intact when you break it off with that nigga. Because, or maybe you have a conversation with your mom. You have a conversation with your mom and say, hey mom, hypothetically speaking, if I started fucking on so-and-so, would you be okay with it? Because 9 times out of 10, I feel like the daddy already knows. The daddy probably already knows. The son might have slipped up and said something. So I feel like, yeah, you can't do that. You need to have a conversation with your mom, just in case it comes out at the wedding that y'all was smashing and things went south. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna pray for you, because that was intense. That was a good story, but it was intense. And I'm so sorry that you're in that predicament, because if it was me, baby. But that is it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys like more episodes like this, definitely head over to my website where you can send in more stories, or you can head over to my email address and you can email me and just ask for a little bit of advice. WWID, what would Iphannie do? Because I like this. This was really fun. I do want to add more of this to my podcast, because I don't only talk about like mental health and trauma and relationships and entrepreneurship. I also talk about sex. So we would really love to hear more stories like this. Thank you guys so much for listening. I wish you nothing but light, love, and a trauma-free future. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next podcast episode. Besitos.